Beautiful cash considerations, listeners. It's time for one total, one side, and one prize. Ooh, that's right. These guys right here, these two lovely gentlemen, they hit their props. I go 3-0 back-to-back weeks. On a 6-0 run, you can get my best bet package for only $5,472 using promo code Nobody Knows Shit. I'm just
NKS.
So CH and Dave can decide who goes second, since, like I said, they both hit their prop.
He can go second. I've been ahead of him for a couple weeks now. He can go second because I know he ain't taking my game. I'm good. I got my game.
Well, I'll bat lead off after being the epigee of perfection for 2 straight weeks. My side, gentlemen, is the Vikings +3.
Winner.
And the main reason for me on Vikings is because, have you seen Coach Zimmer's girlfriend? I mean, oh my goodness. I'll send you the picture after the show. This dude's strutting around like a peacock. Talk about kicking your coverage. Good God, Coach Zimmer. You cover a couple games and woo. But in all seriousness, I just don't know what to make of the 49ers. What I do know is that Kyle Shanahan and the Niners, since he's been the head coach, they've been one of the worst home favorites in the NFL. Terrible. How about 5-15-1 when they're laying the chalk at home? Yeah. If you even take the situational split out of it, since 2017, the Niners 14-22-1 at home. So favorite or getting points at home, still well under 500. On the other sideline, that dude who's strutting like a peacock, well, he's 64.2% against the spread as an underdog. Since he's been in the league, that's best for 5th best. Vikings +3 is my side. For the total, I should probably never go with the traditional total again. Just to piss you guys off. And by the way, shout out to the 52% who had my back in our poll at Cash and Sid Show on Twitter, who voted that a total is still a total, regardless if it's listed under the game props or not. We're not going to get into that. But none of these micro markets, as Dave calls them, really stood out to me. So don't fall out of your chair, guys. I'm going with a traditional total this week, and I'm going under 52 in the Colts and Bucks game. Now, the reason why is because this is, to many people, the game of the week. And rarely, I feel like, do the game of the weeks kind of live up to the billing. You don't think so? The Colts surging and
who are the Patriots playing? They're playing for the #1 position in the conference. Pay attention. Listen to the show.
I'm sorry. The Patriots are not the game of the week. I apologize. As much as they are back bitches, them playing the Titans, who just lost to the Texans, is not the game.
There's 2 other games of the week, huge divisional matchups. I mean, you can't decide between the SBE shitbag Eagles coming on against the Giants or the Steelers and the Bengals. You're going to give me the game of the week is Tampa and the Colts, an interdivision, an interconference matchup.
The only other, well, I just mean from there's the Colts are on Hard Knocks right now, and Tom Brady, everybody and their grandmother is always chirping me on Twitter. So I just think
slurping. I can't.
So maybe it's a little too close to home for me, but it is worth mentioning that I guess not game of the week, but one of the highest totals of the week. Maybe that's the better way to say it. Right. And a lot of the time when you have these huge big time games, they rarely end up living up to the billing. So going back to what Dave said earlier, Tampa is scoring a shit ton, but on the road, they're not really scoring as much of a shit ton. They scored 28 against the SBEs. That was their highest road total that they were able to, rack up. And for the Colts, I think everybody's talking about this being a shootout. And again, the Bucks are on a short week this week. The thing you're going to see all week long is that the Colts are 7-4 to the over, which is true. They're going to tell you it's the best in the league, which is true. But if you look at that number a little bit more, only 3 of those 7 over games came at home. And with Taylor rolling, I think, like Dave said earlier, they're going to be looking to lean on that run, keep Brady off the field, while Tampa is going to aim to stop the run, just like they did. They completely took Saquon out of the game. I don't think they'll be able to do that against Taylor, but it's going to be a little strength-on-strength matchup there. All that is a long-winded way of saying under 52 points. Colts Buccaneers is the total. I went back to traditional for you, and not traditional at all. Since I went 3-0 back-to-back weeks, I think I've earned the right to go completely off the reservation. I vomit as I say this pick. I looked at DraftKings. I looked at team scoring specials, and under the highest scoring team on Thanksgiving, I'm going to take my money and I'm going to burn it. I'm going to go Detroit Lions, highest scoring team on Thanksgiving, plus 1,100. They're going to pull out all the stops. There's going to be fat guy touchdowns, running backs throwing passes. Maybe Campbell will come in the game and throw tissues down the field while he weeps openly. The thing is, for the Bears, they just want their coach to be fired, and they're going to try and get him fired, like I said, by getting rolled. You look at the Bills, they have to scheme against Peyton. You look at Dallas, they're in a little bit of a slump. It's a horrible pick. Nobody's going to ride on it with me, but I'm doing it. I'm putting $5 at least on it. Lions plus 1,100. Highest scoring team is my prop. My total under 52 points, and my side Vikings plus 3. Those are my OT, my OS, and my OP. What say you, CH?
That was some high energy shit. They got caffeine in that Fly Eagles Fly beer you got there. Holy cow.
Live it. I eat it. I sleep it. I breathe it. Man.
So thinking I might go third, I had to write down 3 sides here just in case you fuckers took my pick.
That's 2.
One of them, I think, is Dave's game. So I'm going to stay away from it and see what happens. Really? Just for the record, I had to go third last week and I wrote down 3 games. All 3 of the games I wrote down were losers. So it doesn't matter what the fuck I do. I think what I'm going to go with my side here is I'm going to go with the Bills laying the points. I think the Bills are going to New Orleans isn't good. How much money did Taysom Hill get? What position does he even play? They haven't even figured out what position he plays yet. He got $40 million guaranteed, right? Yeah. I'm taking the Bills minus the points. My total, I mentioned this at the end of last season, where in 2018 and 2019, games between teams that were eliminated were 7-1 to the over. Okay. Now I know we're only in week 12 here, but let's be honest. The Jets and the Texans have been eliminated.
Yes.
Right?
Fair. Good call.
And by the way, that one game that didn't go over was a Green Bay game when Aaron Rodgers got hurt and they got shut out. So then last year, in the last 2 weeks of the season, games between teams that were eliminated, 4-0 to the over. So in the last 3 years, we're talking about 11-1 to the over. And that one exception is the Aaron Rodgers injured game. So I am going to go with the Jets in Houston over 44.5, way over 44.5.
I love that.
My prop. I have 4 of them written down here because there's some good props out there for me this week. I've been going kind of to the weekly specials. I'm going with Terry McLaurin, a name I can never pronounce, and DK Metcalf combined over 139.5 receiving yards. It's only a plus 100. I had a couple others here. I got a plus 150, a plus 110, but this one I like the best. McLaurin and DK Metcalf combined over 139.5 at plus 100. So I got the Bills minus 4.5, the JETS and the TEXANSs over 44.5, and McLaurin and DK over 139.5 receiving yards at plus 100. That's my toss up.
How about that? It's nice and concise, unlike my rambling excitement. You get me going on Carson Wentz, it's gonna happen. It's natural. Dave, OT, OS, OP. Where you going, my man?
All right. So side. A lot of sides to look at. I'm going to go all the way to Monday night. I'm taking the Washington football team against the Seattle Seahawks. Talk about teams that look done. That team looked done to me. And it's an ugly game. Who in the hell is going to want to watch it? But we need some life on the show. We need some extended version. People keep going back and listening to the show on Sunday and Monday. We thank you for that. That is my side. There's a lot to pick from. Going there because it's kind of off the reservation a little bit away from all the mainstream games, including the most popular game of the week, Tampa and the Colts. Actually, Newbie, I just did a quick scan. For the Sunday games, you may be right. That is maybe the premier game, although the Rams and Green Bay, pretty good. Minnesota, San Francisco, pretty good. But in the early window, Tennessee, New England is still the number one game of the week, just for the record. The total has me a little bit perplexed. I want to pick a Thanksgiving total, Chicago, Detroit under. But again, we're trying to extend the life of the show. So you go in and listen to the show and you go, oh, Dave picked that. The final score 17-13. Detroit wins. You're going to be like, oh, well, I can't play it because I listened to the show on Thursday or Friday. So we go to it. Another total. It is, man, I'm just really torn here between. I'm going to go with it. We're going to stick with it. We're going to go with a Seattle, Washington under 47. Sticking with the same game thing that worked once for me before. Seattle, Washington, kind of shitty offenses both. The Seattle don't get more. Their team total prop is 23.5. Bet that thing under. That's a micro market. That's not a total. So I would say that I would use that, but I'm not going to use that because I don't want to cheat the rules or go tout like my boy Newbie up there in the corner. So we're going to go total for the game, 47. Don't you dare fucking mute me. I'll fucking knock you out. So that's the total. The prop, we're going to go a little two-team parlay prop. We'll try something different on Thanksgiving. This is a Thanksgiving prop because you guys know me. I go deep on the research. I keep scrolling. I can't find nothing. They got all the Thanksgiving stuff up. I wanted to do something for Sunday, and they got all the just micro markets that aren't really props. I don't want to get accused of skirting the rules. So Dak Prescott over 276.5 yards passing, minus 115. And Dak Prescott over 1.5 passing touchdowns is minus 220. You can bet them separately, or you can combine them into a parlay if that is allowed. They both happening. The Cowboys are going to roll the Raiders. Little Kinsig and I will probably be sitting on that couch that you saw us on the Twitter feed. I'm going to look over at her, and at some point she's probably going to say, the Raiders suck. That's the parlay. So those my OT, OS, OP, Redskins. Nope, did I say Redskins? Washington football team minus the point. That game under the total 47. Dak, touchdown passes and yardage over.
Boom.